Now we're going to take Donald Trump's chart. So someone we know, everyone knows he's very prominent, and we've been working with his chart all along. And I'm sorry, just going to take a sip here. His Mercury starts up in the 11th house in Cancer. And it moves along into the 12th house in 1960. November, it went into the 12th house. It went in 1981. It retrograded in 12th house in Leo. Went back, went direct in 2005, and I got back to the starting point what's wrong with this picture here? 1910 isn't correct. Oh, 2019. Yeah, in 2019, in this fall, it goes back to the starting point out of all of this stuff. So he's it's interesting. His Mercury's gone forward in retrograde, but his Sun's went forward. Went past this, and this progressed Sun's gone over his ascendant just when he got elected. So the Sun's going below. The Mercury's been in his 12th house this whole time. So really, his thoughts have a shadow or behind it. Nobody's hearing him properly or whatever. He's not thinking properly. It's in the 12th house. But while it's going through this 12th house, it hits the ascendant. Mercury doesn't hit his ascendant. It didn't come out of this until 2031. So that's long after he's been president. So what happens next? He has Mars in the 12th, Pluto in the 12th. His double standards are the Sun in Gemini and the Moon in Sag, opinions about everything. And Uranus is tied into it, so not stable, but these will carry with him. But the Mercury itself is square, his Mercury is square Neptune. So he has this confusing, perhaps deceptive, or evasive way of thinking. And that's there to start with. So that's his progressed Mercury evolves. And as he gets through Cancer, he gets out of the family things. He started with his family business and then ended up taking the money from the family and taking over the business himself. As it went into Leo, and it went into Leo, and he runs all hotels. He does it, but he's made a lot of wrong decisions. He's had to maybe pushed up debts so much, and then they lost, and they had to sell off property, do things. But even in this period, through all of this, he still managed to become president. Not with his mind, like his confidence got him president. It wasn't his mind that got him presidency. So it's a puzzle. But as this was going back and forth, Mercury goes ahead, it comes up, it hits the Saturn, hits the Venus, goes in Cancer, it goes into Leo. Then it hits the starting point I didn't mark in here. It's at 136, the starting point was at, well, that's house 12, where are we? I should have marked here, yes, 1003 Leo, yeah. So that's Pluto, it's right at, no, it's not at the Pluto before that, okay. So, six, 38, 10. It goes retrograde, stationary direct. Where are we here? Stationary direct, 2005 at 4. It goes back to 453. So when we go by to 453, Leo, down here, it's in 1963. So in 63, he was at the starting point. The things he started in 63 to 81 was what his thoughts, he's building up his ideas, it goes up to 81. And 81, Mercury went retrograde from 81 to 2005. 2005 is back at that starting point. And then it moves up to in the 2019. Just now it's coming up to the end of that Mercury retrograde phase. Well, this is the end, that's the year before the election. It's the starting of the next election campaign. But his Mercury is gone back and forth. He's thinking straightforward and straightforward now. It's not in the same way it hits Mars. It is still in the 12th. It will hit Mars in the 12th house. It's hit Mars, not for a while yet. It conjuncts Pluto. Yeah, it conjuncted to Pluto 3 times during this phase. In 68, in 94, and then again it'll hit it in 2020. In 2014, yeah, it hit it in 2014. So that's before the run for presidency. Okay, after that, why not? So then, as it hit the ascendant, when it went into it hit the ascendant, it hits the ascendant in 2027. The Mercury will hit his ascendant. So that's when it comes out of the 12th house of the shadow. By that time, in 2031, he's pretty old. In his old age, he starts being old, but it's like his mind isn't going to be connected to it. It's in that 12th house shadow for this whole period of time. It's supposed to be mystical thinking, but there is a point of subconscious of what's right, what happened, what happened, what didn't happen. It goes through all of this. I can't draw any specific conclusions from it. You can see it. If you want to get into it, you just slow it down. You watch these stages, you get the phases of the life drawn out. You get the once you have the bio, once you have your bio and it's filled in, then you can work your chart really well like this. To do someone else's, you have to get a bio like that, and you have to know something about their inner workings as opposed to just the outer workings to do this. But in the 12th house, it's more isolated. It's not building up to career. It's surviving. It's the repercussions of things. So once he finishes, he's gonna have to think about what was he done with, why is it interpreted this way. He's not gonna he's not gonna be listened to. His mind isn't gonna be heard or appreciated that well. He's acting on it, but it's his weak spot. Difficult thing for a Gemini. Okay, so we get added Trump.